Hey, hello, welcome to our Git and GitHub course. This is an introduction where we will install and get all the tools that we need. So first of all, we need to install Git on our machine. So let's go to Google and type Git. Press enter, and here we will open the gitscm.com link. Here we can download it. It depends what operating system you've got. I work on Windows, so I will download the latest version for Windows. Click there and I will choose standalone installer 64-bit. Once it's downloaded, I can click on it to start installation. Okay, let's go through. Click next, next. And let me see, what do we have here? I want to add a git bash to Windows terminal, so I will click on that one as well and click next. Here I will not change anything, just will go with the default. So click next, 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 and there we go. Okay, great, it's installed. I can untick it and click on finish. And now I will get sourcetree. So let's type sourcetree, press enter and go to that link. And I will get this software so that I can push my all repositories, my all files to the GitHub. There are other softwares as well, but I like to use this one. So let's go and download for Windows, agree and download. Okay, now we can click on it to start installation. Okie dokie. I'm going to use a GitHub, so I don't need to choose any of those because I don't need a Bitbucket. Bitbucket is something similar to GitHub, but I prefer to keep my files on GitHub, so I will skip it. Now I will leave it as it is. Okay, this is fine. And click next. Here we've got some problem, but it doesn't matter. I will click on cancel, click next and next. And now we need to add our username and email address and click next. Now we've got some prompt about SSH key, but at the moment we don't need to worry about that. So I click no, and there we go. We've got our sourcetree installed. Great. So now I can just minimize it. And we need to get Github account. So let's type GitHub. And here, if you've got an account, you can sign in. And if you haven't, you have to sign up. I will not show you the process of signing up because this is easy. You can do it yourself. So now I will sign in and I will see you there. Okay, great. I'm already signed in, so I can create a new repository. Click on that button. And here we need to provide some name. I'm going to make some template for my WordPress site, so I will call it Vilnox website. I don't need to add any description. I can keep it public. I don't mind. We can add some git ignore file straight away. And because I'm going to use some WordPress files, I will click on WordPress. Git ignore file will let me to avoid uploading files that don't need to be uploaded. I will click on the create repository button now. Okay, this is great. We've got it done. And now you might ask, okay, so how will I communicate? How can I use Git and push my project to GitHub? Okay, let me show you. So I will collapse this window and I will open sourcetree. Now we've got our project created on GitHub. So let's click on remote. We will get it from GitHub. And now we need to add account. So we click on add account button. Here we will choose GitHub. And I've got my GitHub opened in the website. So I can click on refresh auth token. And we are taken to that website that is opened. And now I can authorize. And as you can see, my all credentials are okay now, and I can click OK. So now we are connected with the GitHub. So this is a good idea to sign in to your GitHub website, keep it open, and then add your account in sourcetree. Okay, we've got it ready, so we can get our project. I will click on remote and click refresh. Now, as you can see, we've got our project ready to be cloned. So we click and now clone. Now you will choose the destination where you want your files to be on your machine. I will click browse and I will put it on desktop. Click on desktop, right click, create new folder, and I will call it WordPress theme. I will open it, select folder and click clone. Okay, great. Let me see if everything is done. It is. We've got this folder. Go inside, move it there, and as you can see, we've got our git ignore file inside. And only that, because we haven't added any more files to our project. How can we create project, work on it, and save our changes? Okay, let's make it simple. I will add some file, right click, new text document. Of course, it's still a text file, but this is only to show you how it's going to work. Now I will minimize it, and as you can see, the source tree is keeping track of this folder, and it's already noticed that we've got a new file and it is shown in here. If we decide that we want to save those changes and push it to GitHub, we can go to this unstaged files and stage them all. So click on stage all button. So now all the files were staged and they're ready to be committed. So now we have two options. We can just commit, so it means we will save those changes, or we can tick it to push changes immediately to GitHub. I usually have this ticked, so whenever I make a commit, I send those changes straight to the GitHub as well. So let me add some message. This is crucial to add some description. What changes have you made? And now I will click on commit. Okay, so what happened is we committed changes and we pushed it to the GitHub. So now you will keep your files safe on GitHub, and if something bad happens to your computer, your files are safe and can be cloned wherever you want. So let's go back to the GitHub and click on our project. And here you can see that the file that we committed and pushed is already there. Okay, so now I will show you a good practice that you should do every time you start working on your project. Because if you collaborate with others or use many computers to work on the same project, this is a good idea every time you start your computer and want to work on this project to pull all the changes that were committed to the GitHub. So what I do, I always click pull and pull. So if some changes have been done to this project, I will get them straight away to this local project. Because if you don't do that and there will be some changes on the GitHub, and if you do some changes and would like to push them to the GitHub, there might be a conflict because your version will be different from the last version that is already on the GitHub. So this is what you should do every time. Just pull all the changes, work on your project, and then push it back to the GitHub. Those are the basics of working with Git, GitHub through the SourceTree software. I hope you liked it and you learned a lot, and now you can start your own project, make changes, stage all the files, commit and push it back to the GitHub.